book to you called Nightsong. Can someone name the animal on the cover?
Bat.
A bat, that's right.
Bat.
Okay, and this book, Nightsong, it was written by Ari Burke and illustrated by Lauren Long. So, who represents the person who wrote the words? Is it the person who wrote the story or illustrated the story?
Illustrated.
Person who wrote the words is the author. He wrote the story.
Author.
I guess it was a she, Ari Burke. And then who represents the person who drew the pictures?
The illustrator.
Illustrator. That's right. All right, so here we go. The sun had set, and the shadows clinging to the walls of the cave began to wake and whisper. "Cheero, little wing," the bat mother said to her child. "Tonight you must fly out into the world, and I will wait here for you." "But the night is dark, Mama, darker than the moth's dark eyes, darker even than the water before dawn," the little bat exclaimed, twitching his ears this way and that. "I know," whispered Mama. And when it is that dark outside, I cannot always see," Cheero admitted, stretching his wings. "There are other ways to see," she told him, "other ways to help you make your way into the world." "How?" "Use your good sense." "What is sense?" said the little bat. His mother folded him in her wings and whispered into his waiting ears. "Sense is the song you sing out into the world. And the song the world sings back to you. Sing and the world will answer. That is how you'll see. Now fly from our cave to the pond where we bats like best to eat. Have your breakfast, then fly home. But do not go further than the pond, not unless your song is sure." And then she let him go. Cheero fell into the cold air for an instant, then flapped and turned and flew out past the mouth of the cave and into the waiting night. At first, Cheero tried to peer his way through the dark, but long arms rose up in front of him, waving slowly, blocking his path. He could not see around them or over them. Cheero was frightened. But he remembered his mother's bright words. Use your good sense. Cheero began to sing, softly at first. Okay, so I want you guys to all demonstrate what you think Cheero's song sounded like. Do you think it was an actual song?
No.
Like he sang a song? Do you think he just went, "Oh," kind of like a wolf?
Yeah. No.
Maybe? Can you try something? Something like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Okay, so then now we're going to compare what Cheero could see before he sang to what he saw after he sang. So everyone close their eyes. This is what Cheero saw. And then as he began to sing, everyone sing. Then open your eyes. You could see once he sang his song. Pretty cool. All right. But then more surely, his song flew ahead of him, and soon he could hear something singing back. Tall trees called out to him, chanted the lengths of their long branches and the girths of their rough trunks. Gleefully he flew through the woods, past pines, over maples, and away. Flying higher now, Cheero saw something sliding through the sky toward him. So out went his song, and where danger once threatened, now Cheero saw only a flock of friends flying above him on their evening errands. As he flew further, Cheero heard strange sounds, lines of noise, 1,000 voices buzzing, from one end of the sky to the other. For just a moment, Cheero didn't know what to do or which way to go, but he followed his own song. In the sky behind him flowed a river of whispers fading away. The pond was just ahead. When Cheero came to the pond, singing still, he was very hungry. All the night creatures were there above the reeds, thousands of tiny, flying, tasty things, each one humming a different tune. For Chiro, each of their songs sounded like breakfast. Chiro ate well that night. When he was full, he stretched his wings again and thought about flying home. But he began to wonder, just a little, what lay beyond the pond, what lay beyond his mother's words. So Chiro flew a bit further, and the familiar fell away from him, out to the margins of the world. Then he was truly on his own. He flew fast toward a high dune, each grain of sand calling out in chorus as he passed. Chiro flapped up and over the top of the dune and out over the strand, singing louder than he ever sang before. Out went his song over the dark water, then again and again, each wave on the ocean rising up to greet him, each splash of the sea foam becoming kin to him. The sky began to change, grow, light, and cast long shadows over the shore. With the morning came memory, his mother's voice, her warm wings. Chiro knew it was time to go home. Flying higher than he'd ever flown, Chiro began to sing, listening. The music of the land rose up in all of its many textures, each tree, each cliff, each place he'd passed, until finally the song of home added its voice to the others. His cave called out from the blanketing shrubs and pillows of the moss at its mouth, and Chiro followed that familiar sound back into the sheltering earth. His mother caught him all up in her wings and asked, "Was it very dark in the world, little wing? What did you see?" "Why, Mama," Chiro said, laughing, "it was very, very dark. And I saw everything." And then he yawned and turned his head into the warmth of her body, letting the rising sun's quiet song carry him, lull him, sing him to sleep. The end. Okay, I have two more things to ask, or to tell you to do. So, I would like each of you to choose your favorite part of the book. And raise your hand when you decide.
The first part.
The very first part, before he went and flew off. That part, when he was with his mom. Okay, Riley?
I liked it where he was out by the water.
That was pretty cool. Right?
Where you heard his mom.
And he was singing. Anyone else? Finley? Can't remember one. That's okay. Anyone else think of one? Madison?
I like the part when he saw the lady.
When we saw all the bugs and he ate them. Jason?
Oh, when it went really high.
When they were really high. On his way back home, he was super brave, so he went way high in the sky. Okay, now I have one last thing. I would like you to create a picture of something Chiro may have seen when he was flying out at night. So you can go over to the table and I'll give you some paper and markers, and we're going to draw something.